Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the GavsWeatherVids Winter 2021-2022 forecast. So here we go, we have done 13 winter updates, 3 seasonal roundups. We've been outside of the box and we've been looking at so many pieces of data on a week by week basis. But all that's done, and now all that we can do for you is reveal our winter forecast. And so this is it, everybody. From the beginning of September to the beginning of December, it's all been building up to this moment, and now it is time to reveal our winter 2021-2022 forecast. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We're premiering this video and watching it in the live chat with you all. I wonder what we're saying. I bet we're having a laugh. And thank you so much, everybody, for being on the premiere and for watching this video subsequently. It's been an incredible journey with these winter updates. It's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, we've come to the end. So now all that we can do is reveal the forecast, and I shall get on with it all for you in a moment. It's all going to be laid out for you. We're going to start off with the final swingometer based on all 13 of our winter updates. We're going to look at the spreadsheet that's been sent through by Terry, and we'll pick out, the key years through these through this season of winter updates. We will go then through the data and one by one forensically analyze the analogs, and then at the end of the video, of course, we're going to give you our forecast. There will be a little written summary coming up as well. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. Thank you so much, everybody, being here. Please like, share, subscribe on all other videos. Thank you so much. Video man, please like, share, subscribe on Winter Forecast. Thank you so much to Richard for the incredible GavsWeatherVids Winter Forecast gift. So it's not the winter updates gift, it's Winter Forecast gift. It's about a little omen for what we're forecasting. You will find out in a few minutes, but thank you so much to Richard for the incredible winter forecast gift. It's Richard's birthday as well today, so everybody in the live chat say happy birthday to Richard. Thank you so much to Richard for the incredible winter updates gift, winter forecast gift, and winter updates gift. Let's not forget that, and the swingometer that you're going to see in a moment. Thank you so much to Shryan Brewing as well for all of the help during the season of winter updates. Thank you so much to Terry Scully. Also, Terry's like a guiding hand on the shoulder, guiding light. So thank you so much to Terry, to Shrine, to Richard for all of the help during this season of winter update. Thank you so much to the moderators as well for moderating the live chat right now, to Savvy, and also to Paul as well. Thank you so much to our moderators. Right, so that's it then. I think we'd better crack on with our winter forecast, don't you? So we're going to begin, as I say, with the swingometer. So for the final time this season, let's count this down, shall we, and find out how the swingometer looks after all 13 winter updates are complete. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. And here it is, everybody. Here it is. There it is. We are favouring, yes, we're favouring a colder than average winter by 60% to 40%. Wow. Can you believe that, everybody? Favouring a cold than average winter by 60% to 40% after 13 winter updates. That is it. That's it, everyone. So what about that? What do you think about that, everybody? Yes, 60-40 to a colder than average winter after 13 winter updates. That is where the swingometer has us. So you'll find out now whether, the forecast agrees with the swingometer. But very exciting place to start. But it is a very slight swing. After the 13th update, very slight swing from cold to mild, but we were so far into cold anyway. But even with a slight swing from cold to mild, it's still very solidly in favour of a colder than average winter. Thank you so much to Rich for the incredible incredible thermometers throughout this season of updates, and what a way to end. What a way to end. I think Rich shot back from Cheshire, by the way, where he went for a few days. But what a way to end with the thermometers 60-40 to cold and average winter. Wow, wow, wow. It doesn't get much more exciting than that. Okay, so let's start turning off the webcam then, and we shall go through the data. I'm going to move on to the spreadsheet. So Terry has updated this. My amazing friend Terry Scully has updated this for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Terry for keeping this updated. So, as I always say with this, I would love to be able to go through this forensically and go through it year by year by year. It will probably take an hour, maybe two, and we just don't have time to do that. But there is no other way of working out which years have been the leading years through all of the winter updates without some sort of spreadsheet or way to compile, the data and place them in a year by year basis. So I just say thank you so much to Terry. Terry must spend so much time on the winter forecast spreadsheet, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. So just quickly talk through what we're looking at here, and then we will go down and see which years are leading in terms of this year's winter updates. So we've got our yearly column just here, starting at 1836, and that will go all the way down to 2020. Of course. We've got our methodology just here. So, for example, just there, we have top 20 dullest August, where we started right at the very beginning of the updates. Wow, can you believe that? September, warmer than August, for example. October, 16 to 17 rain days. Ace, accumulated cyclone energy, average or above. And November data just here. Now, the further down we go, the closer we get towards being able to include things like ENSO, and Mercurio, quasi-binary oscillation, all of that kind of stuff, PDO, and all of that sort of stuff is included a little bit further down in more recent years. But way back when, in the 1800s, we can include, like solar data, solar cycle data, and CET and England Wales precipitation. Now, on the yearly column, you see these X's, so each X marks a hit with the methodology. The more hits you get within a year, the more relevant that year is to 2021 and the winter of 2021-2022. So the first year that has a hit, of course, is 1836, and with that year, there's only one hit though, so that can be pretty much discarded right from the very start. We've also got 1838, only with one hit. Again, we throw that one out. We've got 1841 with two hits. Again, that one could be thrown out as well. Let's come on down and see if we can find a year with perhaps fewer, perhaps more hits, I should say, not fewer. We don't want fewer, we want years with more hits. So we've got one just here. We've got 1862, and that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hits. And so that is a pretty good year, actually. That's a pretty good year. Not the best, not by any means the best, but it's a pretty good year. So all of these years, but have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, they are pretty much thrown out and discarded. But they still have to be included. So that's what must take Terry so much time. That every single year still has to be accounted for, even if at the end it's just get thrown out and it's not going to be relevant. But we still have to know that those years aren't relevant, and can be thrown out. Right, let's come on down then. So we go from the 1800s into the 1900s, of course, and we come down to just here, and this is where we find out which years have had the most hits. So here we go then, with 7 hits. We've got 1950 and 1978. With 8 hits, we've got 1956, 1999, 2001, 2013, and then with 9 hits, we have 2002, we have 2006, we have 2009, and 2012. So for the best years, the years that have nine hits within the GavsWeatherVids forecast methodology, we have 4 years: 2012, 2009, 2006, and 2002. So that's like 2001, 2002, 2005, 2006, It's also going to be 2008, 2009, and 2011, 2012. I'll talk you through the actual years themselves as well. But 8 hits to 7 hits, and also down to 6 hits. They are quite interesting in their own right. Now, within that, Terry has also placed in a colour-coded way which of these months, December, January, February, are either warmer or colder than average, and which are wetter or drier than average. Absolutely fantastic work. Thank you so much to Terry for that. Unbelievable. And as I said, I wish I had more time, to go through all of these years and talk you through each individual year, but I just don't have time because I've got to bring you the data and then give the forecast. But thank you so much to the unbelievable and the amazing and always wonderful Terry Scully. Thank you so much to Terry. Right, so let's start going through the data then. So we're going to start off with the years that have 6 hits within the GavsWeatherVids forecast methodology. Then we'll go on and look at the years that have 7 hits. Then we'll go on and look at the years that have 8 hits. And then we'll go on and have a look at the years that have 9 hits, the best years. And we'll see how they're all looking. So the first year that has 6 hits with the GavsWeatherVids forecast methodology is 1861, 1862. And this one has blocking to the north. It has low pressure to the south. The winds are going to be coming in from an easterly direction. So that's quite a cold block winter to start us off at 1861 and 1862. With 6 hits again, we have 1970, 1971. And this one, again, has high pressure to the north, and it has low pressure to the south. The winds are in from the east. This is quite a mild winter, but does have a cold December, and especially so around Christmas, with a classic white Christmas in 1970. The next year with 6 hits in the GavsWeatherVids forecast methodology is 1978, 1979. So this one, of course, it's a severe winter of discontent. It has blocking in northern latitudes, particularly centred around Greenland. It has this area of low pressure and the jet stream pushed south. It's the last time we have a sub-zero CET, Central England temperature, January, and it is there with 6 hits in our forecast methodology. So 1978, if you like, came out with 6 hits, and the winter of 78-79 is therefore, quite a significant winter. With we got 2014-15 next. So again, with 6 hits, we have 2014 and to 2015 as well. This with some higher pressure out to west, low pressure up to the north, and winds are kind of in from a west or northwesterly direction. It's a rather average type winter. The thing with that winter, though, is that it's occurring around or after the second solar maximum of solar cycle 24. So I'm a little bit less keen, to be honest, on that one. Whereas, for example, 78, 79, that's closer to where we are within the current solar cycle. But nevertheless, with 6 hits, it's there. And then also with 6 hits, we've got 2017, 2018. This is the beast from the east winter, of course, with high pressure pulled out west, and the lower pressure to the east, and winds are kind of in like a northerly or northeasterly direction. So that gets very cold right at the very end of the winter, of course. Now moving on to the years that have 7 hits, this is how they're looking. So with 7 hits in the GavsWeatherVids forecast methodology, we've got 1949, 1950. This is quite a mild winter with low pressure to the north and west, just generally mild westerly, and not much to say about it really. That's a mild winter with 7 hits. We've also got, with 7 hits, 1977, 1978. That one has high pressure blocking around Greenland. Low pressure is down here. Winds in from the east. That's a classic teaser. That's a classic teaser winter. 77 and 78 was last year a teaser winter before a big winter this year. I wonder, but that's a teaser and does have a very cold and wintry February in particular. Also, with 8 hits now, so we only have 2 with 7 hits. With 8 hits, we now have 1955, 1956. So this is like a severe, or does get severe eventually. This one has blocking around Greenland and Iceland with low pressure to our south and east. Winds are coming in from an easterly direction. As a sub-zero CET February in 1976, the earlier part of winter is quite mild, but when this winter gets going, it really does get going, and it has 8 hits, so it's a very important player, you know, within our forecast methodology. Also, with 8 hits, we've got 1998 and 1999. This is a mild winter, really, with low pressure to the north, high pressure is out to the west, and winds are kind of coming in from a westerly type direction. That's a mild winter, but does have a few cold snaps, but overall that one is pretty mild. We've got 2000, 2001 also, with 8 hits. This one again with plenty of high pressure up north. Low pressure is down here. This is a cold winter for Scotland, especially in February. You know, real cold and snow in February. It's a little bit on off though, and for England and Wales it's not particularly cold, but there are some colder snaps included. We've also got 2012, 2013 showing up with 8 hits as well. So this one has lots of blocking to the north. It has this trough of low pressure over to the east of the country. It has winds coming in from an easterly or northeasterly direction. So, of course, that gets cold late. It's relatively mild in December. There's plenty of snow, a 2-week cold spell with some snow through the middle 2 weeks of January. Then it's rather on, off, and then it really gets cold into the spring of 2013. Actually. And then we come on to the most relevant years with 9 hits. So these are the most important years of all in our forecast methodology. The years have cropped up over and over. We've got 2001, 2002 with higher pressure to our south and reaching northwards. Lower pressure is up here. The thing with that winter is that it's occurring around the second solar maximum, solar cycle 23, though. So from a solar perspective, I'm less keen on that one. But nevertheless, it is an important player. It has quite a cold December, and then the rest of the winter is relatively mild, particularly so in February. We've got 2005, 2006. I'm sure it's no surprise that this one is a very significant player. That has been showing up so many times through our winter updates. And there we see it. It's a failed cold winter, has low pressure to the south, high pressure to the north, winds are in from an east. It looks like it should be a very cold winter, doesn't it? It looks like it should be, but it just never, somehow or other, it just never quite manages to come together. It is a very severe winter across parts of Russia and the far northeast of Europe, though, I think, we was very close to a real freeze-up in that winter, but it just doesn't quite come out. Again, I'm not as keen with that one, though, you know, from a solar perspective, because it is occurring in the declining period of solar cycle number 23. So it's after solar maximum, it's before solar minimum, and, you know, it's in that decline period of the solar cycle where cold winters aren't overly favoured, really. But nevertheless, with 9 hits, it is there, 2005, 2006. We've got 08, 09 as well. So this one is around solar minimum of solar cycle 24, 23, 24. This is like the teaser winter with winds coming in from the east, has very cold weather in February with high pressure up north and low pressure down south. So I think that one's a little bit more relevant, although it's occurring around solar minimum, but we are at a very low level of solar activity. You know, it's a sluggish start out of solar minimum, to be honest, for solar cycle 25. So that was probably a little bit more relevant. And then finally, with 9 hits, we've also got 2011 and 2012. This is perhaps the best in terms of where we are in the solar cycle. So this one has high pressure to our west, low pressure is up here, low pressure is digging down the east side of Europe. Very cold winter for Eastern Europe, real freezing winter in the Balkans. For us, it's actually a relatively mild and sort of dryish type winter with winds in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Although, again, with that one, you see, that is like coincide with the first solar maximum of solar cycle 24. Now, that was quite a weak solar maximum. There's 2 solar maximums in solar cycle 24. One that occurs around around 2011, 2012, and another one around 2013, 2014. The second one is stronger than the first. So that's, you know, although I say that's probably close, I'm not sure it is overly. Although it was a week maximum, I think we've got another year or so to go before we reach what might be like the first maximum. So cycle number 25. Right, so there are all of the years. I'm going to just very quickly stop the video there. And when I come back, we will then pull all of those years together and see how they are coming out. But I think just have a little pause for a couple of seconds. Let you stretch your legs. We'll have a good laugh about this in the live chat as we're watching the premiere, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll pause it there and I'll see you around 2 seconds' time. Okay, we're back and we're ready to resume the winter forecast. I'm sure we'll have a good laugh right now in the live chat watching the premiere. You know, very short break that, was it? I enjoyed it. Did you have a cup of tea? Did you have a few nibbles? I wonder. But no, that's putting for like people who are going to watch it after the premiere and might want to have a break after 20 minutes or so. Right, okay, so before the break, we was talking about, or we're going through our lean years. Now we're going to start putting all of those years together and see how they are all looking. If you're enjoying this winter forecast, please smash the like button, make sure you sub to the channel, and don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, so here we go then. These are all December's combined, with years scoring 6 or more. This is every year then. 6 or more. All December combined, and it has high pressure to the north, a blocking signal, low pressure over to the east of the country. Looks rather unsettled for December, and potentially rather on the wintry side as well. There could certainly be some wintry interludes coming through during December. All January combined for all years scoring 6 or more, that's 6 to 9. Hits has high pressure to the north, low pressure is down here. Winds probably coming in from a little bit more of an easterly direction, but again, they could be a little bit northeast. Again, there might be some cold snap potential, with those Januaries. All Februaries combined maybe looks the best for cold, actually, for every year, you know, for 6 or more. That has high pressure to our north and northwest. Low pressure is to our south and southeast. Winds coming in from northeast direction. But to be honest, all 3 of the months look like they have cold potential there, which is quite interesting. All winters combined, scoring 6 or more. Again, with high pressure blocking up north, low pressure is to our south southeast. Again, winds coming in from an eastern direction. It looks like it's a pattern that gets colder as the winter progresses, but all months, including December, has some cold potential. The temperature anomaly for years scoring 6 or more, so basically all years, looks pretty cold across much of Northern Europe, I have to say. We're like on the periphery of that, as we always are. The average too colder than average. Precipitation for years scoring 6 or more, looking relatively dry to our north, a little bit wet to our south. That is indicative of like a blocking signal, so if all of it's wet over to the south, that might be a wintry signal, you know, especially for more southern areas. Right, let's have a look at years scoring 7 or more then, so we're narrowing things down a little bit. These are how all Decembers combined are looking for years scoring 7 or more. Again, we get this trough of low pressure over slightly to the east country, blocking to the northeast. Again, you could see that there's some wintry potential with those Decembers. It's not a clear-cut cold signal, but certainly cold snaps interspersed with mild periods are possible. Now look at January for years scoring 7 or more. Suddenly you get a big old Scandi appearing. Scandinavian high appears in January for years scoring 7 or more, with low pressure out to our west and winds tending to be coming in from an easterly direction. So potentially a very cold signal, actually, for those Januaries in years that are scoring 7 or more. And a cold signal for February as well, with higher pressure in the Atlantic going up towards Greenland. Trough of low pressure to our south and east, winds coming in from a northeast direction. So for years scoring 7 or more, January and February both have cold potential, but maybe particularly so for January with that proper sort of Scandinavian high. Or winters combined for years scoring 7 or more. Again, it's a cold signal. Below average heights across much of central Western Europe. Blocking is away to the north. Winds are coming in from an easterly direction. A cold signal for those winters in years scoring 7 or more. The temperature anomaly, it does lose its signal a little bit, maybe because December is not quite so clear-cut for cold. But nevertheless, there's no particular signal to be milder than average either. So I would say average or cold, and average still favoured. In terms of precipitation, again, very similar, drier to the north, wetter down to the south. Let's narrow things down even further and have a look at all Decembers combined for years scoring 8 or more. You'll notice it doesn't make much difference. You can narrow it down as much as we want, but still we get this high pressure up here. We have this area of low pressure over to the east of the country. So again, cold snap potential is there, even if it's not a clear-cut cold signal. Again, January looks like it could be very cold. High pressure is towards Scandinavia in January. For years scoring 8 or more, low pressure is down here. You expect to be bringing in the wind a lot of the time from the east. Obviously, there are exceptions to that, but a lot of the time you expect to be bringing in the wind from the east in January. And February, again, you know, both January and February look like they're a duo here, working as a duo to be quite cold, above average heights out to our north and west, below average heights to our south and east, and winds coming in from an easterly or northeasterly direction. Maybe just a little bit more modification from the Atlantic with that. But I think both January and February have cold potential there, particularly so though for January, I would say. And in terms of all winters combined for years scoring 8 or more, this is how it's looking. Again, it is quite a cold signal, blocking to the north, below average heights to our south and east. Again, you can see that wind direction should, a lot of the time, be in from the east. And then finally, finally, what I'm talking about, I'm forgetting my running order. So in terms of temperature anomalies, for years scoring 8 or more, getting ahead of myself. Again, it's sort of average to colder than average across most parts of Europe. And precipitation-wise, again, similar sort of signals all the way through. Drier up north, a little bit wetter to the south, indicative of block signal. And then, finally, for the analogues, this is how all years combined, December's combined, I should say, are looking in years scoring 9 or more. Not quite so clear-cut for cold now. We get some higher pressure just out to our west and bring in the winds from, like, more of a westerly direction. Could still be cold snap, potentially, with that, though, to be honest, but it's not quite so clear cut. In terms of January, though, look at this, we still favour that Scandinavian high. That's like a recurring pattern there, isn't it? With high pressure around Scandinavia, bringing in the winds from like an easterly direction with those Januaries quite often. And then all February's combined, again, it sort of has this area of above average heights out west and pushing north. Low pressure to our south and east, winds tend to be coming in like a northerly or northeasterly direction. Again, there will be exceptions to that. Looks as though actually that probably favours like it gets colder across eastern parts of Europe in February. That's because 2012 is included. But remember, 2009 is also included in that. So yeah, overall, I think we do have like quite a clear signal here for this winter. I'll talk about that in a moment. In terms of the winter overall, for year scoring 9 hits, it's not 9 or more because that's as much as we get actually. But for year scoring 9 hits, you know, it looks quite cold still. Really, with high pressure to our northwest, generally lower pressure to the south, winds in from an easterly direction. Temperature anomaly for years scoring 9 or more looks like that. No particular signal to be mild, average to potentially a little bit on the cold side. Western parts of Europe, and the precipitation anomaly looks like that. Overall, still pretty dry. Maybe not quite as dry to our north, though, with those. So we perhaps lose the cold signal a little bit for the year scoring 9 or more. But then again, as I explained, like 01, 02, that's around the solar maximum of solar cycle 23, the second solar maximum of solar cycle 23. 2005-6 is happening in the declining period of solar cycle 24. So that, you know, we're well away from that at the moment. 08, 09 and 12 and 11, 12 might be a little bit closer, but none of them are perfect matches in terms of the solar cycle, to be honest. So it is a little bit swings and roundabouts. Right, so that's gone through the data. We will pause the video one final time, and then we are going to release and reveal our winter 2021-2022 forecast. So don't go anywhere. The GavsWeatherVids forecast will be revealed in 2 seconds. I shall see you then. Okay, we're back, and we've gone through the data. We've shown you all of our leading years, and we've looked at how they're all coming out, and now all we can do is reveal our forecast. So this is it then, and the headline really is that we are going for a colder than average winter. I don't think it's a surprise going through those analogues. They look like they are quite strongly favouring a colder than average winter, perhaps a little bit less so for years scoring 9 hits, but overall, and I'm not overly happy, you know, with those anyway. So overall, I think the data looks like it's favouring a cold winter. So that is like the headline. Our winter forecast is forecasting a cold winter. But within that, of course, there is quite a significant range of possible outcomes. So let's try and put a little bit of detail into that. And so I would say that this is probably going to be, I think there's quite a decent chance this might be our coldest winter since 2009, 2010. And I would think it gets colder as the winter goes along. So December, I reckon, is probably around average. You know, might be a little bit above, might be a little bit below, but I reckon we probably come out quite close to the 81 to 2010 average for December, and could be quite a wet month as well, quite an unsettled, you know, low pressure dominated month. I think that's showing up quite clearly. There is cold snap potential in there, but it will be offset by milder weather. The pattern that we had during the warm autumn is not going to relent its grip. You know, there is a lot of warmth in the northern hemisphere left over from the autumn, a lot of residual warmth, and from the hurricane season in the North Atlantic as well. And so we will get warm spells at times, I think, or very mild spells at times during December. But we will also begin to see the winter pattern emerging. We probably already have done, actually, with that cold snap at the end of November. So overall, we get cold and mild spells alternating with one another. We come out quite close to average, and a little bit wetter than average as well, probably in December. Christmas is like a 50-50. I think it just depends when these colder and milder interludes are, you know, occurring and coming and going. So Christmas is virtually like 50-50. It could be cold if we time it just right with one of these cold snaps. Alternatively, it might be mild. It could even be very mild. You know, it just depends whether we time it right. We go into January, probably still relatively mild, but again with these cold snaps coming and going. And I think as we progress further and further on through January, then we start to see the winter really stepping up 2 or 3 gears. So I would say it's like from the middle of January onwards to the second half of the month, where we might start to get some very cold weather going. And by that I mean like a Scandinavian high that sets up and really blocks things up and brings in the wind from the east. And that is when the winter will start to show its hand. Now, if this, so I reckon for January, you know, we come out colder than average. It might be the coldest January since 2010. It's probably going to be largely dry than average as well, although there will be some wet weather at times. Probably above average incidence of snow too. But the thing with January is that it depends when that cold weather gets going. If that cold weather gets going earlier in the month than we're anticipating, say from a new year, then, you know, we might really start to get a very, very cold month going. And, you know, we might be talking about a very cold January. But that's not really what we forecast. We're forecasting winter that gradually progresses colder and colder as we go along. So let's play it safe for January and say that, you know, it's going to be colder than average, we think. Probably going to be the coldest January since 2010. There is a chance it could turn out to be colder than that. Get through to February, and I think with February, we're kind of a cold average month again. That's showing up quite clearly within our analogues. Cold and average February looks very likely. I would guess with that, like, it's early on in the month. So maybe like a 4-week period, mid-January to mid-February. That could be very, very cold and regularly wintry. And then it might start getting a little bit milder later on, but still with throwbacks. You know, as I said, with the warm autumn, not wanting to release its grip. So when you get into a cold winter pattern, that often doesn't want to release its grip either. And so we get through to February, and we will probably, as the month progresses, try and get into a milder pattern, but the cold pattern will try and, you know, keep striking back, if you see what I mean. So I would say out of the 3 winter months, January probably the coldest, but February will also be a pretty cold month, I think. It could be that February turns out to be the coldest out of the 2. There probably won't be all that much between them. February might be the coldest again since around 2010. Maybe it might even be the coldest since 1997. We have not had many cold Februaries, you know, over the past years. We did have a beach from the east in February of 2018. That's right at the very end of the month. So overall, that month wasn't wasn't really cold. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting winter, this, with cold weather probably progressing the further on we go. Now, there is a couple of caveats. Snow occurs with above average frequency, by the way. There is a couple of caveats with this, aren't there always? So caveat number one, of course, we've got the overall warming trend that we are currently in. We can't discount that. But as we see from like 2012-13, and as we see from 2010, which isn't all that long ago, we can still get it very cold. When that high pressure sets up over Scandinavia and or Greenland, I think this year will probably be more Scandinavian based, to be honest, and easterly rather than Greenland based and northerly. But when those blocking areas of high pressure get going, and if they persist, it can still get really cold, despite the overall background warming. Nevertheless, we have to take that into account, and if we didn't have that, we would probably with this be going for like a severe winter, actually. So you know, but we do have to take that into account. The other thing we have to take into account is autumn weather patterns. Now so the autumn itself has generally been really bad, actually, if you want a cold winter. And if we was basing this forecast purely, solely on just autumn weather patterns, you know, the CT and England weather precipitation in September, October, November, we would almost certainly be forecasting a winter, actually. What we've thought with this is that because the teleconnection data, you know, is so strongly in favour of a cold winter, that offsets the autumn pattern. But it is a big old risk, this. It's very, very risky to go for a colder than average winter after a hot September. You know, we proved in the data that it's almost unheard of to get a colder than average winter after a hot September. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping for the best. But if it does go wrong, this, we end up with a mild winter, then that will be what you expect after a hot September. So there are the two caveats: the autumn weather patterns and the background warming signal. But having said all of that, we have got moderate confidence that this winter is likely to be a cold winter overall. It should have more snow than normal. It probably progresses to become colder as we go along, and especially, as I say, like that 4-week window from the middle of January to the middle of February is when I would be looking at to potentially get some really, really cold weather going at times. But outside of that 4-week period, there will be cold interludes as well. So don't discount some snow in December. Don't even discount the chance of some snow around Christmas. But also don't discount the fact that you might get a mild Christmas. It just depends when those cold and mild interludes alternate with one another. Right, that's the best we can do for you, everybody. So, that's it. That is the GavsWeatherVids Winter 2021-2022 forecast. I hope you enjoyed this. You know, it's been a long video, but I hope we explain why we are forecasting what we are forecasting. And yeah, so that's as much as we can do. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video on the premiere or subsequently. I'm going to say thank you so much to Richard, thank you so much to Shryan, and thank you so much to Terry for all of the help on these winter updates. I'm going to say thank you so much to our moderators as well for moderating the live stream, to Paul and to Sally, moderating the live stream, you know, for, the live chat, I should say, while the premiere was going on. I hope you'll enjoy this forecast and this season of winter updates. This has probably been the best season winter updates, I think, that we've done at GavsWeatherVids. I've really enjoyed it, and I just hope that over the years people will come back and watch these updates, watch these videos subsequently. You know, almost like moments locked forever in time, maybe something that will outlast me, you know, and people will look at these in years to come, and the ideas that we espouse, and hopefully we've created a legacy that will last forever. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. It's not for me to judge, it's for all of you to judge. But I just thank you all so very much for all of the support over the past 3 months, and the way of embracing these winter updates, not only this year but over so many years, and I think this is a fantastic way for us to sign off with our winter updates. Right, okay, excuse me. So last thing I'm going to leave you with is the summary. So we shall do that. So I shall go here, put that up for you. And I'm going to mute the, I'm going to turn off the webcam, and I will mute the mic as well. And you just have a little look at the summary if you want. And then that will be it. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this a fantastic winter forecast. Yeah, you enjoy the rest of your night or day, whenever you're happening to be watching this forecast. And let me just, we don't want to pause it. What am I doing? Where am I going? I'm going here, aren't I? Let me just turn off the mic and we'll run you through our summary. Thank you so much, everyone.